right there. I found a sweet spot. Welcome back to Arch's Garage. And today we're working on a couple of two smokers. And I took this one apart just to cover off. The cover is real flimsy. It's kind of broken. But the bottom part of the cover is still strong and stable. And it was pretty naggy and dirty inside here. Not too bad, but you know, there was dirt there. I'm going to blow this off. I'm going to pull the carb, pull this out of the way. We'll pull the carb and we'll get to it. And pull the plug out. And then we'll put it back together again and see if we can fire it off. We'll check for spark. Alright, you take this off. Oh. Wow, that came off easy enough. It came off easy enough, and it's pretty much cleaned out. I'll wipe out the rest of it. I think one of the first things we can do, maybe we can pull a plug on it and take a look and see what kind of shape the plug's in. Show you how clean that is. Actually quite clean. Now, we need to do this. Just lay it on there. See if we can pull and see. Turn the key on. Now we got spark. Some spark. Yeah, that's spark. So now let's do blowout. Yeah, see. That's for me washing it. Washing. So let's put some two smoke in it while we're letting it set. Okay, there's a little bit of gas. Put a little bit of two smoke in it. And we're just gonna, yeah, see? Beautiful. Okay guys, I did the carburetor. I didn't show it to you because it was perfect. I mean, I probably should have showed it, but it was perfect. I just needed to rinse it. And I moved this downward because I think it's just such a bad idea where water is going to come in. It's almost like, it's just such a dumb thing to do is to have it upright. But they all seem to do that, and it's craziness. Alright, so we're going to turn the key on. We're going to prime it a little bit. And let's see if the electric start works. Alright, it's going to smoke like crazy, but that's okay. Let's give it a shot and let's see what happens. Everything else should be okay, so let's give it a shot. Wow. Let's try a little bit of choke. Almost. Actually, it runs pretty good. I see some leaking here on the gasket. We may want to take this off and clean it out, make sure that there could be some junk in deep inside the combustion chamber. Another thing too is, which might be a really good idea. Oh, I really filled it up with smoke in here. That was dumb. So it makes a good snow broom. Definitely got way too much crap in here. Smoke. It's a two-smoker. So, welcome back, guys. So I took the muffler off, pack it in here a little bit. I'm just going to clean in there a little bit. And you can see, you know, there's your cylinder. You can get in and inspect a little bit. And it's probably a little bit of schmutz in there, whatever. We'll run it. There's no gasket, so it's just a matter of how tight it is. We may have to put another washer on it. I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to rag it off. I started ragging this off a little bit. We'll take this cover off. We'll inspect in there. We'll do cleaning of the igniter. Make sure that's all adjusted, tight. Okay, so we're just going to wire wheel this off, and I'll put a little grease on it, a little oil and grease. We're going to check this, probably take it off and clean it. I don't think it really needs it, but I want to check the gap on it. This definitely does, because these tend to rot, but it's usually a good idea to do it in oil. I've had a problem. This substrate is in the way of this bolt, so I have a couple of options. This is a standard Tecumseh bolt. It won't really go in because it hits the substrate, and you got to like pry everything so much out of the way. So that's one option. Also, another option is to slot the cover. That's another option. We'll see. Let me see what I'm going to do. Let's clean that up. I'm going to wire wheel that off, guys. And I'm going to pull this off, and we're going to clean this up a little bit. I know it's in good shape, but we'll clean it. We'll readjust it. We'll make sure it's on there. And we'll do that, and I'll get to the next step. Just like I said, there was a lot of work to get this off. Had to pull these bolts out just to let it down a little. So let's see what we come up with. I'm just going to grab my wire wheel. Here. Look how nice and clean that is now. Well, like I said, you can oil it or white grease it, and we'll white grease this. This is in really good shape. This thing's in nice shape. All right, so let me take that magneto off. I wanted to show you that it's actually in great shape. It's clean, but it was loose. These things were really loose. The question is why? Are they getting loose because they weren't tight? Are they getting loose because they're getting loose? Is there something else going on? But let's put this back on, and we'll lube everything up, and let's put it back on and get it tight. See if it becomes tight. So you should. I keep saying, you know, if it ain't fixed, it's probably broke. Don't take a chance. You're in here to service. Do what you got to do. Service the machine as best as you can. Put your hands on as many things as possible. Go over the machine. There's reasons for things. Why did it stop working? Why did somebody lose interest in it? What happened? All right, you don't really know, so you need to go over it. All right, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I like to line it up. I don't know how well you can see it. I can't get the camera in much closer. And I got the gauge in there, all right, and that way it straddles. And I use a brass gauge, and that way it straddles. Just position it so that you've got it all the way engaged around. And what you can do is you can just snug the screws a little bit, and if you want, take a little hammer and just tap it a little bit while you're holding it with the back end of a light hammer. You know, just give it a tap. I got a little ball penis hammer here. I don't really snug the screws too much, just to make sure she's down. Alright, and then tighten it. So now we're going to tighten it. Okay, so I just greased it a little bit. Now this here, I bent down with the vice grip a little bit more. I'm going to go grab the big lump hammer and a big drift. We're going to knock this down a little bit more, and that might give me enough room with the bolts out on that side to put it back together without having to do big modifications. So, just a little bit of massaging, you know, a massage. Let's go get the masseur. Okay, drove that down. And this just gets my usual, right? Couple of drops of oil in the right places. Yeah, it makes a bit of a mess, but you know, that's okay. It's plastic, so it doesn't need a lot, but what happens is everything after a while gets sticky. And just feel it, right? Feel how smooth that is, so that's fine, okay? It'll splash a little, but it's not going to go on anything that you care about. Right now we can slip it back on again. And we can return to a previous programming. Okay, all the other bolts are in. So you see I got it. Alright, yeah, a little bit of massaging. Now we can raise it back up after it's tight. But, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, hell, that was a bitch getting it out. I'm not going to put it back. You know, don't be that guy. I'm not that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Because I'm not that guy. I want to, you know, the bolt, you need the bolts. They all need to be in there. Okay, so you should be able to see that. Now, it's wide open throttle. Let's just put a screwdriver on this, whichever one fits in here. Alright, so it's wide open. So hold it wide open and then turn this. Alright, notice how it turned? Okay, so that, if it was like that, okay, it would be in a very different position. So what you want to do is take out all the play, so that as it rotates, now if you turn it this way, what might happen is it can't go any further. Alright, so that would be wrong. So, because if you turn it this way and then this started to try to rotate, it would jam. Alright, so what you're looking to do is, this is not tuning, you're checking to make sure that there's no play in it. It's an assembly thing. So with it back, okay, so the spring and everything else is helping to hold it open. I'm just going to hold the shaft while I tighten. Yeah, it's the threads are, the head's a little bit borked. Alright, just while I'm tightening it. So there's no play in it. That's all you're doing, you're not tuning it. It's an assembly thing. It's not a tuning thing, it's an assembly thing. It's to make sure that when it's assembled that there's no play. Alright, and look, maybe is it tightening or is it fucking up? Let's see. It's going. Nice and tight, not Korean. I put a little lube on it. And I like to lube the seal a little. That's tight. I like to lube that seal a little because it's a good opportunity to do it because it will leak. Alright, now we have serviced this part of it, and we're going to go, because it's too smoke, I turn this around the other way. Let me put some of the tools away because I think it's silly having it up. Water's going to get in it. Right? That's what you want, right? That's what they're designing in. Alright, so I'm going to go bring the muffler outside and cook it. Just put the torch in there and cook it a little bit more. Make sure it's clean. Alright, I'll be back. Well, we want to get all of it. You can hear it percolating. Try to get more directed at that area. And once it stops smoking a little bit, then I'll run the hose in it. And then we'll give it a quick heat, because you can just see it's still just sitting there. It's so hot that it's just whatever's there is still continuing to burn. Alright? Alright. Much cleaner. And you can see, all the debris. What I did was I plunged it into a bucket of water, some soapy water. You saw a lot of junk just come right off, sheets of it, just unblocked. And then I dried it off one more time with the torch. And so she's good. You know, because the Bendix, these gears and everything is really light, and that spring, if you would have put too much on there, it could get stuck, especially as it gets cold, which is when, you know, just when you're using these things. So, all right. So, we need to fix that pull start cord. Yeah, it's flooded somehow. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I didn't turn the key on. Wow. All right, let's start it up. Wow. Runs all right. I mean, it's a two-smoker. They run like that. You know, might be a little too much fuel. It's hard to say. You know, may want to take the car back apart and see if we can pull out the emulsion tube and check it, just for shits and giggles. Unfortunately, the issue's right here. Good catch. I'm glad I looked at it. Like I said, look at everything. I don't know. Make it right. Alright, and that's it. That's all it took me. A couple minutes to do something. Okay, he's on his way, so he'll be here any minute. So we're good, right? Just pull it back through. One knot is usually all it needs. I gotta pee. Done the butt strip, and we're done. That's it, you know. What does it take to do the right job? Okay, so we're going to take the emulsion tube out. So what I did was, I like to go on these, with these types of tubes, alright, they're removable, they come out easy. I took off the choke arm and the butterfly, and then you just kind of pry carefully with a screwdriver, and you can pick it down a little bit, and you'll only get it just so far. And then a lot of times you can take a sheetrock screw or something that'll catch, and you're just going to have to find the right screw. Okay, those are too big, but something that you can, like the sheetrock is even better. Try this. There we go. Wow. There's a piece of rubber there. And that rubber probably goes around this. Here we go. Now, the reason why I don't generally fool around is because there's not much to these emulsion tubes, and usually if you just chase it out, you're good to go. So I don't really see anything in here. This is not a problem. Let's see if we can bring more air in. And I'm wondering if that's an air bleed. I don't know. I can't see it. It could be. But something is definitely keeping it from... It seems a little too smoky. It should run up a little higher. And it could just be the one I just did, that tip sticking out. I pushed something through. And it might be an air bleed. It might have been. And it might have been just a little dirty, you know. Yeah, something definitely went in there. Let's just try that. Okay, let's try that. Let's take it that far, thus far, and put it back before we get crazy. Because that might do it. Alright, let's see. Alright, choke is on. Let's choke the chicken. Choke it. This time I'm going to actually turn the ignition on. And we'll give it a pull. And let's see what it does. Alright, let's see. I'd say it's a lot better. Now here's what I'm thinking with the top. I have this nice plastic conduit. This is Panduit, conduit, Snaptrack style. It's a nice heavy plastic and it's a nice color and it lays on here in a nice sort of groove fashion. And I think if what we can do is just grab the rivet gun and just rivet it on. Not too bad. Alright, so I just clamped it along here and I've got, you know, my clamps, and then I started riveting it, and it's strong, boy, I'll tell you. This is not an issue. I'm going to put another one here. That's beauteous. The last one. Let me pop some more light in. And we'll make that next one. Oh, that's beauteous. It's going to make it a lot stronger. What it was missing in strength-wise. Somebody really warped it up. Oh my goodness, it's so much stronger. And you know what? I can feel it already. It's so less floppy, and that's all it needs there. It almost looks like it belongs. What do you think of that, guys? So I'm going to do the other one. Yeah, I know it's, you know, that looks correct. Isn't that nice? Look at that. That's the other side. Okay, and I tried to move the holes around a little bit so I didn't send a message. You know, I didn't draw a straight line and do it that way. I just tried to move them around a little bit so as not to be so noticeable, but I don't want to send a message in and make more cracks. I don't think it's going to happen. Look at that. You pick it up now. It was flopping in the breeze. Now it's got a little more weight. It's a little stronger. A lot stronger. So now we're going to do this side. So this side's going to fit a little different. I'm going to take some of this extra scrap. I got to see how it's going to lay on there. Alright, there's the last peek, guys. Alright, looking good. Okay, let's bolt it on. It's after 5, it's like almost 6, so I'm not going to work much more. But I want to get this part done. Yeah, that's a good way. I'll try and shove it over. I have to make some hardware for that. Look at that. Go take a look. What do you think? Just a couple more pieces to go. I'll just give it a wipe down. I got a bolt to put in over there. I'll lube some of the nuts up on the wing nuts. I'll lube the wheels. And this looks pretty good. Alright, there it is, almost there. Alright, I put the hardware over here on top, on the edge. I'm just going to lube in here. I'm going to come back lube a few other things, lube the wheels, wipe it down. I got to make something for this, okay? Maybe one bolt and then one twisty knob, something like that, and throw a little clear on it, and that's it. I'll clean the handle off. There's a few other little things to do, and it's done. Welcome back, everybody. Arch's Garage. Go Arch's Projects. So this is cleaned up. We're going to do a little test video on it. Little start. Lubed up. Little spray paint. Little clear. I like to always put clear on the stickers, especially on any of the silk screen, you know, the print and what have you. It's a good idea. It'll help it stick around a little bit longer. So a little bit of clear on the plastics, whatever. Not a lot. Just to, Armor All doesn't last, and this lasts a little bit longer. And it's a nice little sales tool. A little bit of black on the handle. I'm using the professional version of the Rust-Oleum because it dries in about 20 minutes. It's a little different than what I used on the other machine, because that was able to dry overnight. So, all right, let's just do another little startup video on this. So, it's been sitting for a couple of days, and it's always a good idea to test. Has the electric start? So we're going to pull it, and I'm going to put the choke on. So it's full choke. We'll prime it 5 times. Turn the key on, and pull from underneath here. I love the way that sounds. That's just killer. Runs good. You know, two-stroke. They run like that. But I think we're good to go. All right. Let's get some pictures on it. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been fun. This one was fun. Probably something like this, about $200, $180, $150. When you get to January and February here, and this is Long Island, you can guess, if it snows, you might get 200 or 250. So that's how that works out. So I'm going to get back to do what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back in Arch's Garage, and this is another one of Arch's projects. And this one really worked out nice. I paid like maybe $10 for it. But again, it was borked when I got it. It was pretty borked up. And remember, if it ain't fixed, it's probably broken. Put your hands on everything. Check it. Make sure at least make sure it's tight. I'll see you later.